Hello everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Today is Wednesday, August 12th, 2026, and it is just after 8 a.m. So we obviously, it's a perfect time to make a video since we got a update, the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, which is basically what you guys are seeing on the screen right now. Same areas as yesterday that were basically being watched. We have, of course, this small area up here. It's not going to be a threat for anybody, and it's basically going to disappear soon. And then all eyes are pretty much concentrated down here. So the yellow area that you guys are seeing here, that is a new area that the National Hurricane Center started to pay attention to and highlighting. And then, of course, we got the red area, which has a 90% chance of development, which is right now the most immediate concern as far as how strong is it going to get. Now, most of the models, I mean, we're going to go over some of the models together. I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen them this morning. But as of yesterday, last night, they weren't really showing up, like basically a strong storm, or it wasn't showing a strong storm. It was just showing, if it survives. And we're going to take a look at a few things. That's something that I wanted to show you guys, of course, and see if it has a chance of even surviving past south of Puerto Rico. But right now, again, this is what we got from the National Hurricane Center as of this morning, giving it 90%, 30% to that one, and then, of course, the 90% on the other one. Well, I guess it doesn't want to work. But let's say, since we're here, let's take a quick look at the Pacific, what's happening in the Pacific. Couple areas, same thing. We're still watching them. Still haven't developed yet, but this is the area that we're watching that is the closest to Hawaii for potential tropical development. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite imagery. I mean, you guys can see there's definitely some rotation going on with these two areas. Now, the area that has, excuse me, that has 30% chance of development, that particular area is basically going to benefit from the leftover moisture from the area in front of it that the National Hurricane Center is giving a 90% chance of development. So in other words, and you guys can see the difference, how the wave that is further back or closer to Cape Verde Islands, it has much more thunderstorm activity versus the one that, again, has a higher chance of development. So that's something that, of course, we need to keep an eye on, but as of right now, it's not a concern. The immediate concern is the one in front of it, since it's closer to the Virgin Islands. So that's what is happening with the imagery. I mean, of course, you got some thunderstorms happening in the Yucatan Peninsula, in the Midwest, of course, Ohio and Indiana. I mean, you guys are getting, of course, some strong storms that basically cause some tornadoes and some damaging winds that caused destruction yesterday and during the day. So obviously, you guys stay safe out there. Unfortunately, there's more storms and more unstable environment, I should say, or I want to add, that is heading your way. And you guys can see this kind of almost stationary there, and then you also have this area kind of moving this way. So basically going to affect the areas that were already battered by the strong winds and damaging winds from yesterday. But let's kind of, before I move forward, let's take a look at what is happening also in the, let's take a look at the Pacific, Central Pacific, because that's the two areas that we're watching. So you guys got Hawaii here, and then you got this massive outburst there. Now, where is that going? It's, well, heading towards Hawaii, but is struggling to organize, which is a good sign. That means you guys, if anything, may get a weak storm and not a bona fide hurricane, which is good news. Now, let's take a quick look at the analysis. Sea surface temperatures, of course. I mean, tons of fuel. Minimum, like I mentioned before, 26 degrees Celsius. I mean, we got 27 all the way to 30s. And even the majority of the Atlantic as well. So in other words, that area, that the two areas that National Hurricane Center is watching, they're basically approaching warmer sea surface temperatures. Now, that's not everything, okay? But it is a very important ingredient. Now let's take a look at the forecasting models and see what it's happening. So we go in the future. You guys kind of see how, according to the GFS, that area that has a 90% chance, or 92L to be specific, that's what the designation from the National Hurricane Center, it basically doesn't survive and it falls apart. And the same thing goes with the one right behind it. Now, I would take this with a grain of salt. Further back, a third wave that starts developing, and of course the GFS, it starts blowing it up into a potential Category 3 hurricane. Not really buying that, way too early to tell. Now the European model, now European has basically a similar scenario, both waves just falling apart, not surviving the Caribbean. Let's take a look at the Canadian model. Similar scenario, but it has the second wave hanging around longer and making it way pretty much past South Puerto Rico, but it's basically just falling apart. And then let's take a look at the German model. Basically exactly what the other ones say. So in other words, right now there's a lot of good agreement that these waves are not going to survive the upper level wind caused by El Nino in the Pacific, and it's just hostile environments. There's a small pocket, and basically that's why you guys are seeing a little bit of development until it reaches the Virgin Islands, and that's what we see here. Let me kind of switch to a different website. But if we go to this chart here, I mean, you guys can see that red means no or unfavorable conditions, and you see that the waves, the couple waves are here and here, more towards the green and the yellowish area, which is lower wind shear. So as pretty much just how some of the models show, I mean, as long as it stays further south, once it makes it to the Virgin Islands, that's going to be the best chance of development. South of Puerto Rico is, south of Puerto Rico is notorious for shredding storms, and that seems to be the case of so far what the models are predicting as of right now. So even if it passes Puerto Rico, I mean, it's just hostile environment all the way around. So honestly not expecting a whole lot of development out of these storms because of how bad the environment is right now. It's not conducive enough. Let's take a look at also let's see what else I wanted to show you this morning. I mean, of course, the heat signatures pretty bundled up. That's a 90% chance of development. So it has a good amount of energy, but it's just a question is, will it survive the hostile environment south of Puerto Rico? That's the question. I mean, other than that, really, that's nothing else to talk about. That's the latest update that we have from the National Hurricane Center. I'm not hyping anything. I've seen some YouTube channels, of course, already hyping it and making it seem like, oh my goodness, we're gonna get a massive hurricane in the or massive storm and in the Pacific. I mean, in the Atlantic. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but it's very, very unlikely. And before I let you guys go, let me actually switch and show you one last thing. Is basically what the models are saying for Hawaii. Now the German model actually shows a pretty strong hurricane. Now if this plays out, that means it will be history made again, and also it will be worst case scenario. Let's take a look at the European. Now the yesterday video, see, it was basically showing not a strong storm going through the islands, but now more and more support that we're gonna have something a little bit stronger. I'm leaning still towards potentially a strong tropical storm, not necessarily a hurricane, but time will tell. And if the one significant, I would say, I don't want to say issue, but clue or situation that you guys in Hawaii need to pay attention is the fact that if it becomes really strong or organizes enough, it's going to happen quickly. That's the key. And it's very close to Hawaii, so that will be the concerning part. In other words, you guys need to pay attention for quick development. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, I will keep you guys posted. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day.